Update 22 is going to bring drastic changes to Fallout 76, and today I will go over the damage nerfs and the One Wasteland rules. Let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. In this one I will show you lots of public server test footage to make a preview of some of the major upcoming changes. So be aware there is a lot of spoilers ahead. With that being said, I've spent the entire weekend testing different things, and in this specific video I want to address the damage nerfs, including bloodied weapons as well as the increase of experience gain, the One Wasteland rules, new weapons, and even a few new enemies. So without any further delays, let's get into what matters. As you probably heard somewhere by now, damage has been drastically nerfed with Update 22. It's all over the forums, Reddit, and social media. Actually, people are focusing on the Bloodied Nerf because it's the type of weapon most players use. However, the changes don't simply affect Bloodied builds. Bethesda changed the player damage rules and they basically nerfed every single weapon out there. How so? Let me make things simple here. Before Update 22, which is now live on the PTS, we had damage multipliers for basically anything: perks, mutations, cams, and food buffs, and so on. After Update 22, all these modifiers have become additive multipliers. What does this mean? It means the system will make an addition with all your modifiers before multiplying to your base damage. So, as you can imagine, the end result is quite inferior if you just multiply the modifiers as it used to be. And that's why all the weapons have been affected one way or the other. Actually, it depends a lot on your build. The more damage modifiers you have, the more significant will be the damage nerf. As the head data miner Xera explained, this is a massive nerf to damage output, but it makes the damage calculations more simplified and easier to calculate for the system. He also confirmed these damage changes applies to every damage modifier out there, including weapon mods, perks, cams, bubbleheads, and magazines. So in the end, every single weapon got nerfed, and it's quite silly because most weapon legendary effects are quite weak already. This balance doesn't make a lot of sense, and I believe they will tweak or rework this new rule before it goes live into the official servers. Otherwise, they are going to upset a lot of players again, and with a just cause. I mean, this change alone is quite concerning already, but together with the One Wasteland rules, it makes things way worse, and you will soon understand why when I get there. Anyway, let's proceed. Okay, now let's focus on the bloodied weapons. What is the new fuss about it? Well, they do way less damage with Update 22, that's for sure. Again, it depends on your build and damage modifiers, so there is no exact number or percentage for the nerf. I will use my main weapons as an example to give you an idea of what to expect if Bethesda indeed goes forward and releases the update as it is now. I am providing you official footage with the same perks, the same gear, no buffs, and the same HP to compare with the PTS Update 22 right now. Let's start with my bloodied explosive shotgun. Before the nerf I had 884 damage, after the nerf I get 493 damage. That's a 44% damage reduction, close to 50%. It's a lot, and you can clearly notice it during your gameplay, since you now need an additional 1 to 2 bullets to kill enemies that before you only needed 1 or 2 bullets max, so it is a huge nerf indeed. Next we have the Gatling laser, which got drastically nerfed for some reason which I don't fully understand. Before I had 120 damage, now I get 25. Yep, that's a flat 77% damage reduction, and this weapon is basically useless now. I can hardly kill anything with it. Now, the Gauss minigun, one of the latest weapons added to the game, went from 334 to 227. Not too bad. The nerf is only 32%, and that's more acceptable compared to the latest two. Now, my favorite heavy weapon, a Bloodied explosive 50 cal, went from 437 to 233, which is a 46% damage reduction. Again, almost 50%, just like the Bloodied explosive shotgun, and that's very noticeable. Whenever you kill any high-level enemy, it's like, yeah, you really notice the change. As you can see, the Bloodied Nerf is around 50% for most weapons, but it will vary a lot from player to player depending on your build, and from weapon to weapon as well, since they all use different base damage values. They also scale differently, and as such, the additive multiplier numbers have a different impact too, depending on the types of weapon. But don't forget, other weapons got nerfed as well. It wasn't just Bloodied. Not at all. Actually, Bloodied weapons remain one, if not the strongest damage output weapons in the game with update 22. The One Wasteland is a new system that aims to adjust enemy levels to your own or to your team's average level. Bethesda wants to decrease the difficulty spikes in all regions as well as make your experience a bit more normalized. They also want new players to have a more balanced experience. The concept sounds great, but after testing it for a couple of days, I can say I think this is a positive change. For starters, Bethesda increased all enemy levels if you are a high-level player. I am talking on my end, it's my experience of course. I am level 460 plus, and for me, all enemies got boosted. In low-level regions, they all became level 25, that's the lowest I could find. In higher-level regions, like the Mire or the Cranberry Bog, they became level 50 to 100. Now, when I solo, they are normally level 50 to 75, but when I'm part of a team with other high-level players, I normally find level 75 to 100 enemies. It is quite a difference, especially because their defenses and damage seems to scale with their level, so I need way more bullets to kill such enemies, and I go down much faster too. As I mentioned earlier, the damage nerfs make things even more complicated. Overall, you do less damage already, so if you are forced to fight buffed enemies, your damage is even less. Again, enemies are stronger, they have more HP, more defense, and you do less damage from the modifiers nerf, so yes, you now need way more shots per kill, and as a Bloodied build, you should expect to die way more often, because enemies simply do more damage. The plus side here is that fights are now more challenging and you also earn more experience, but on the other hand, you need to spend more time fighting and you waste way more ammo per fight as well. Since you get hit more, your armor breaks more often too, and it's all a snowball, you know. Bethesda basically made the game more difficult with the One Wasteland experience. Enemies are more tough in every single aspect, and players are now weaker, especially in terms of damage output. I think it's too early to form a final opinion on the One Wasteland, but it's surely a drastic change. It's the opposite of what we had so far for almost 2 years. We had weak enemies, we could easily or basically kill anything in 1 or 2 hits. It took a lot for NPCs to kill a high-level player, excluding bosses of course, and now it's all changed. There are tough enemies in every corner, bosses are true bullet sponges, you can die very easily, and your damage is questionable, especially if you have hundreds of levels accumulated so far. Again, I think the concept is great, but it feels like something is not right with this first implementation. It needs adjustments and maybe a rework in my view. Because, let's be honest, if you want to make enemies much stronger, you need to balance player stats and damage as well. not decrease it. So hopefully the One Wasteland won't make it to the official servers as it is. It needs way more work and testing to fully accomplish its main objective, which is providing a more balanced experience to everyone in the Wasteland. This next point is nowhere to be found on the PTS patch notes, but it's something quite obvious and one of the things I noticed first while playing the new content. The experience gain got increased quite a lot actually, but it's not like they increased the experience gain values. No, nothing alike. It's just an outcome from the One Wasteland system. As I already mentioned, enemies got buffed overall in terms of level. In the entire map, you will find higher level mobs scaled to your level or to your team's average level. So in general, you will fight higher level enemies no matter where you go. Well, compared to enemies before the One Wasteland went live, of course. Now, the lowest level I could find in the lowest region, the forest, was a level 25, while before it could vary from level 1 to, let's say, 25. The same logic applies to high-level regions like the Mire or the Cranberry Bog or the Savage Divide. Enemies are always between a level 50 and 100. Even when you solo around my level, which is about 460 plus. Before, you could easily find enemies from level 25 to 68 in these areas, now not anymore. So with this logic in mind, it's only natural that your experience gain will increase. You will encounter higher level enemies all the time, and you receive experience accordingly for killing them. So yes, a level 75 or 100 gives more experience than level 50 or 68. Therefore, it stacks and your overall experience gain is much greater than before update 22 and the One Wasteland experience. Since we are on the combat gameplay topic, you should know that Bethesda is planning on adding at least 3 new weapons to the game with update 22. They are all planned rewards for the upcoming daily ops. There is about 40% chance to get them if you are level 50 or higher. 2 of the new weapons are melee, one is called the Gutter and the second is the Warglaive. While the first looks similar to an Assaultron blade, the second is more like a thick blade. Moreover, Bethesda has already added several mods for the Warglaive. You can find them at regs inside Vault 79. There is a cryo, a plasma, a shock, and a flaming mods for this weapon, which makes the weapon look like these data mine pictures, by the way. Pretty cool indeed. Now, there is one more new weapon going live soon, called the Whistle in the Dark. It's a ranged weapon, it seems to be a rifle, and you can craft it. Apparently, you can craft all of these weapons using legendary modules. So, it's the same logic used with the Wastelanders gear plans. You need to craft until you get the legendary effects you want, which is great news. It's way better than to wait to get super lucky at a Prevere at least. Don't you agree? Lastly, let me tell you that Bethesda has been transforming existing enemies. For the daily ops, we are getting some new variants of existing robots, super mutants, and supposedly blood eagles as well. I have done around 10 daily ops already, and sadly no one was with blood eagles, but I met some new enemies already, such as this freezing Assaultron Intimidator, which is a boss and used to be a rarity in the past, and even a super mutant fire starter who will throw or spam cocktails on you. There's lots of new enemy variants with freezing abilities and stealth as well, which is a result from the mutations which they are using for the daily ops. As Bethesda expands the mutation list for this feature, we will most likely meet even more new enemies, and that's exciting. There's plenty of new changes to cover for update 22. The patch was almost 25 gigabytes, and that's a massive update. I'm still testing other features such as daily ops and new rewards, but for now, these are the highlights for the combat system. Do let me know your thoughts about the damage modifiers nerfs and the One Wasteland. I have seen mostly negative feedback so far, but that's normal. People are getting their builds nerfed. Who likes that, really? Anyway, that's everything for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. You can help the channel even further by checking the links in the description below. Now, I will see you all very soon in the next one. Until then, take care, adeus, bye bye!